everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and this is On a Budget. Today we are going to be doing a debt confession video. It's going to be a little bit different because this is basically going to be my story and our debt-free journey. So back in 2019 when I started my debt-free journey, we were looking to pay off $68,000 worth of debt, and we managed to pay that all off back in July of 2023. But along the way, we also got a car loan, and I didn't add that number into the original debt journey, our first debt journey, I guess you could say. And so I'm kind of feel like we're at a part 2, or we're starting another journey. But let's just get into the video, and I'm basically going to do a debt picture of the $68,000, which is all paid off, and then I'm going to do a separate debt-free journey, basically starting at where we are now, because I feel like we're restarting our debt-free journey. So let's get started with the $68,000 though. So back in 2019, when I originally wanted to start paying off debt, I probably started paying in like July of 2019, but I didn't actually start recording my numbers until about December. So we're basically at a starting point of December 2019. And so I'm just going to list out my debts. They're not going to be in a specific kind of order. I'll try to talk through my thought process when we were trying to get out of debt. And let's start with my first one was a Credit One credit card. And the starting balance that I have recorded is $965.87. The interest on that card was 25.4, and I don't even remember the minimum payments, so, well, on that one anyway. So, and let me just go ahead and write down all our debts so we can get to the total $68,000, and then we'll backtrack to when it was paid off. So our next one was a Capital One credit card. And that had a balance of $5,933.74. The interest on that was 24.4. And again, I don't remember the minimum payment. Next, we had a Best Buy purchase for $2,136.99, and this looks like it was an interest-free promotion. Next is SoFi. It had a balance of $17,751.34. That minimum due was $692 and around like 36 cents. I can't remember exactly, but that minimum payment, it was like ingrained in my brain. So interest was 14.59%. Then I had a medical debt after I gave birth to my son. This one somehow slipped through the cracks and it hit collections. And I did not remember, I guess, receiving a bill. So that one did not have any interest, and I don't even know what the minimum payment was. And let's see, later on down the line, we're going to have a Chase card, which was a zero, starting balance of 0, recorded in December of 2019. But I may have to come back to this to see how it factors into our journey, but let's just keep going. So then I had a Baylor bill, also giving birth to my son, of $9,905.90. And I believe this was actually more. I would think it was closer to about 11,000 between my cesarean I had and my son had to stay in the NICU for about 2 weeks. But as of December, this was the balance. And that was 0 interest, and I don't think I had a minimum payment. I later set up a payment plan for that, but let's see. Let's go on to the next one. Was Mohela, which was my student loans. And these I have been paying on for a while. Again, this was probably much higher, but when I started recording, it was at $30,602.16. Interest on that was 6.224%, and the minimum was $266.78. Okay, and so if we total all that up, let me just write it here in the middle. It was $68,152.04. So I might do a separate video breaking this down more and going through all, the ways we were able to pay this off. But I just haven't decided if I want to do that yet, because I feel like I'm still in debt. So I'm in another journey, and so I just don't know yet. But let me know in the comments if y'all would like to see that. So credit 1 was the smallest balance. And when we started doing this journey in December of 2019, we just went ahead and paid it off. So this was paid December 2019. Now, SoFi is actually a debt consolidation, so I probably had about 5 or 6 credit cards and transferred, I don't remember how much it was, maybe 20 or 24,000. So I probably originally started with almost $30,000 worth of credit card debt. So this was the remaining on the SoFi balance, and then this $5,900 on Capital One was more than what I was approved for. So this balance I was not able to transfer. So Capital One we managed to pay off by May of 2020. So we can put this as debt priority number 1, debt priority number 2. Best Buy was an interest-free loan, and so we did not have any immediate concern to pay it off. So it was not paid off until January of 2021. SoFi really irritated me, just basically because of the amount of the minimum due, and so I knew if I could prioritize this first, then it would free up so much more to be able to pay off the rest of them quicker. That basically does not go with the avalanche method. If you're new to paying off your debt, basically the debt snowball is you're trying to use your smallest balance, pay that off first, and use your minimum payment to roll over into your next debt, and then you're kind of just having a snowball work through it. If you do the debt avalanche method, then you're basically paying your high interest debts first because it's slower momentum, but you're looking at saving more in the long run. So we kind of just did a mixture of both processes. I think there's a term for that, but I cannot remember right now. So continuing on, SoFi, we managed to pay off in March of 2021. And I have this all on a spreadsheet. I mostly kept track of it electronically. I did do some, pen to paper too, whatever kind of motivated me. But I'm just letting y'all know some because I'm looking at my computer also. So the OB bill, I was a little upset about because 1, I don't remember getting a bill, and 2, I just didn't remember the charges on this bill because it was some weird charges, and I didn't feel like that I actually owed this amount. And so I put off paying this for the longest time, and I eventually was like sick of looking at it, if I'm being honest, and so I went ahead and paid it. So I paid that also in March of 2021. So Chase is not in my starting balance, but I believe I did a balance transfer to Chase, and so that may have been how it factored into it. Okay, so this is probably right. So I think if I remember correctly, I believe I transferred some of this Capital One into a promotion of pay off by 12 months promotion. And so it's technically in the 68,000, it's accounted for under Capital One, but then I moved it to Chase to save on interest. So that's probably why I have Chase listed as a 0 beginning balance, but then it's transferred over. Okay, so let's keep going. So Baylor, I believe I started with I was paying $50 a month for the longest time, and then they were kind of we need you to make larger payments. And my husband was a stay-at-home dad for about 3 years after I gave birth to my son. And so we were a one-income household at that time, and I just could not afford the larger payments. And so we paid $50 minimum for a while, and then after I paid off SoFi, I used all of that to go towards Baylor. And so Baylor was paid off by April of 2022. So as you can see, my student loans were my least priority. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. Baylor was my 6th. And then I guess I wrote them in the order that I paid them. So student loans. I was going to try to just pay these, but us also trying to save for a house, but I was sick of looking at it, and so that kind of just motivated me to try to pay it off. But this was not paid off until July of 2023. So it took us about 3.5 years to pay off this $68,000 worth of debt. And so that is that picture. Now I want to show y'all basically what our debt looks like as of right now. So I just filmed our December overview, budget overview, and so I'm using November's ending numbers to get where our debt is at currently. So I really wanted to start this channel because we were getting a little lenient on our spending, and so I kind of was hoping for some accountability, but also trying to inspire y'all also that we can all get out of debt. It's a wonderful feeling when you pay off something, and it's also amazing when you pay something with cash. So we want to get back to doing that. So currently we have, let's see, give me 1 second. I'm going to try to list these in order of priority. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Debt number 1 is Capital One again. I do not know my interest rate currently. It may be the same. Let's go ahead and write the same. So 24.4. But I've been putting our spending on credit cards, and they've been being paid off monthly, so we haven't been accruing interest. But we may have overspent in October, or no, not October, November, to where I wasn't able to pay it off this month. So we have a balance of $850 that I would like to get paid off by December. Our minimum payment, I believe, is like $30. The second one is our Chase card. We had some overspending on there as well for another $850. And then I believe the interest on that one is like 27.9. And the minimum is 40. Next is Best Buy again. We bought an iPad under a 0 interest promotion, and it has a remaining balance of $900. So no interest, and I can't remember the minimum due, but I think it's like 27. So I've been paying on that. I have until like July, I believe, to pay off that $900. It'll be paid off well before that, but I'm just gonna put the 27 just in case. We have cell phones we purchased that are on our AT&T bill, and we have a balance of $832 left on that. Those are interest free, and I believe the minimum payment is like $70 because we have 2, so they're $35 each. And then my husband's truck. So the starting balance on this is, as of today, so we have he got his truck back in July of 2022, so he's had it for a little over a year. So this is not our starting balance on the truck, this is just our current balance. But our current balance is $31,118. I don't remember his interest, but it's like 3. And his payment is $607. So if we total this all up, our second debt-free journey is going to be starting at $34,550. So this is going to be debt-free journey number 2. I would like to have the credit cards paid off by January the latest. And then cell phones, I may just go ahead and pay them off just to, lower our AT&T bill. The truck, unfortunately, is not a priority right now. Right now, we would like to save for our first home, so we will be probably doing more savings than we are going to pay down the truck, but that may change. I was sick of looking at the debt we had when we first started in 2019, so there may be a point where I'm sick of looking at this number or sick of looking at the minimum due on it and deciding to pay it off before we move. But right now, the saving is taking priority over the truck debt. And that is everything for this video. So this is my debt confession round 2. If you're interested in following along, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.